If an EMP hits tomorrow, the first thing that kills people isn't radiation, fire, or explosions, it's bad assumptions. People die because they think they understand survival, but the myths they trust turn into traps. And the scariest part? Most of these myths come from movies, not physics, not biology, and definitely not real-world field experience. So listen closely, because once an EMP fries the grid, the world rewrites its rules instantly, and the people who survive are the ones who stopped believing these 7 lies. The first deadly myth is the belief that your car will magically die the moment the EMP hits. Everyone imagines highways full of dead vehicles, engines frozen mid-drive. But the truth is much messier and far more dangerous. Modern cars might stall, but most don't. In real military tests, many vehicles kept running or restarted minutes later. And that creates the real threat, moving 2-ton machines in a world where all traffic lights are dead, communication is silent, and panic is rising. People who assume cars won't work step right into the open, thinking nobody can drive toward them, nobody can flee, nobody can weaponize a vehicle. The smart move is to assume some cars will work, and that people who still have mobility instantly become the most unpredictable element on the road. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Another myth that quietly kills is the idea that your phone is the most important tool in your pocket, and that losing it is the real disaster. The truth is almost funny. Your phone is already worthless the moment the pulse hits. But the dangerous part is what happens next. People burn precious daylight trying to revive it, staring at a dead screen like it's CPR practice. Time is the one currency you can't earn back. The first hour after an EMP determines everything. You should be checking water, shelter, safety, and movement patterns, not trying to persuade your phone to resurrect itself. The ones who survive are the ones who instantly pivot to the world they have, not the world they just lost. A myth that Hollywood absolutely loves is the belief that food spoils immediately when the power goes out. And yes, freezers and fridges will warm up eventually, but not instantly. Here's what most people overlook. A closed fridge can keep food safe for hours, and a freezer, if kept shut, can hold for nearly a day. The lethal mistake is people rushing to cook, waste, or panic eat everything. They turn their homes into chaotic kitchens instead of fortresses. But if you stay calm, ration slowly, and use perishables strategically, you stretch survival from hours to days. Those days matter. They give you time to understand the new environment, identify threats, and avoid desperation-driven decisions. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Then there's the myth that clean water only comes from taps and bottles. You'd be shocked how many people die of dehydration while surrounded by safe water sources they never learned to use. Rainwater, melted ice, even water from the back tank of a toilet can be life-saving if filtered or boiled. The myth that all natural water is dangerous freezes people with fear. But biology doesn't care about your feelings. Dehydration kills faster than almost anything except air loss and massive trauma. The truth is simple. Any water you can boil is water you can drink. If you can't boil it, let it settle, filter it through cloth, and treat it with purification tablets if you have them. The myth kills people. The method saves them. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. One of the most stubborn myths is that chaos immediately turns everyone into violent savages. People imagine instant riots, cannibal tribes, and looters kicking down doors within minutes. But the real danger is subtler and creepier. Most people freeze. Shock takes over. Decision-making collapses. Your neighbors won't attack you. They'll wait for someone to tell them what to do, and nobody will. That hesitation creates a vacuum, and vacuums attract opportunists. Predators thrive when normal people are still processing. The smart survivor doesn't panic and doesn't attack. They move early, secure quietly, and avoid becoming a target before the predators even choose their targets. Understanding psychology gives you more power than any weapon you could carry.
Then comes the myth that noise doesn't matter outdoors. This one is brutal. People trying to use tools, break branches, repair something, or yell for help forget that sound travels differently without background electricity hum. With no cars, no AC units, no electronics, no machinery, your smallest noise can travel for blocks. Sound becomes a flare gun. The world becomes quiet enough that footsteps sound like warnings. Survivors who understand acoustic discipline gain a huge advantage. Silence becomes a shield. Silence becomes mobility. You don't fix things loudly. You don't argue loudly. And you don't cook on metal pans like you're hosting a campsite breakfast. You operate like someone who knows every noise is a broadcast. And the final myth, the deadliest one, is believing help is coming. That belief is responsible for more preventable deaths than any EMP pulse ever will. People stay put, trusting governments, agencies, or rescue teams. But the truth is harsh. In a nationwide, high-altitude EMP scenario, communications are shattered, transport is crippled, hospitals are offline, and logistics collapse. Nobody is coordinating the cavalry. Waiting is a slow-motion death sentence. Survival belongs to people who act, not hope. People who move to safer ground, gather resources before crowds swarm them, and establish microplans instead of clinging to the fantasy of mass rescue. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Once these 7 myths die, your survival odds multiply instantly. The moment you stop believing the comforting lies, you begin to see the world the way real survivors see it, not through fear, but through clarity. And clarity is the closest thing to power you get when the grid collapses.